Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Full Spectrum Podcast. My name is Trey.
I am Rungren.
We got some stuff to talk about tonight.
Yep. Got a
We
few
do, of
things.
course, have some news and some announcements and some reviews. But before that, we start every podcast with weeks.
Weeks.
How has your week
All
been?
right. It's been a little bit stressful, but it got better today.
Yeah?
Well, I put up okay. My album's dropping. So next month on the 24th. Yeah, April 24th. Uh all my music will go out on Spotify and everything. And so
Yeah.
that's the plan. That's the plan. That album Strange Journey. So I've been waiting to get an approval letter back from the people who are distributing it.
Yeah.
Make sure the format fits, make sure, they're like, all right, you can spell, you know, and the songs aren't too bad. We'll put them out. So I got that cleared up today. And I was like, man, that's such a relief. Now I have to sign up for my worldwide publisher. So now I'm waiting on BMI. BMI. I had to pick between ASCAP, ASCAP,
Yeah.
and BMI. And because I do everything, I'm independent. BMI seemed was my preferred choice
Right.
out of that. The yeah, now I'm waiting on that for more strangers to judge
Of course.
my
It's always
album.
something.
Yeah, but once that gets approved, and then I can officially say that yeah, that's when it'll go out. And I think there'll be a little website to go to. You can see the album cover and listen to the songs and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and a couple other things to check out that'll come with the launch. So just one more letter to wait through. I did get a new toy for the studio.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't show it to you right now. But it's a Kraken. It's not a pedal. It's a preamp.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got to plug that in, and yeah, I'll probably be playing with that after the show.
Nice.
I'll be plugging back in. Which anybody's thinking about getting the Kraken, uh, the little V4 preamp, one, get it from Zounds
Yeah.
because not sponsored and don't have it. They don't even know who I am. They just know that I buy stuff from them.
Right.
They but they always treat me well. And you want to turn your amp into a victory Kraken without spending $1,200 just on the head.
Yeah.
Um, this is really. I got it in hooked up. This thing really impressed me. So I was messing with it and figured out what I want to do to incorporate it in the studio and get it and everything.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know. It's like a kid on Christmas, man. When you get a new game, the game you've been waiting on or something. I was just like
Right.
all excited, Nerd. But I've been basically just waiting, trying to get stuff. Did work a little bit this week to got to pay some bills.
That's right.
They won't stop charging me for stuff like I don't know electricity and internet and stuff and food.
Yeah.
There's childlings here that want food, so it's been it hasn't been super busy, but it's been kind of stressful. But and then today was like yes, okay, wait again.
Yep.
We're going through,
Yep.
and so my week's been like being in the army. Has been hurry up and wait, and
Yeah.
the way is gone. But I do have my songs are still going up on Rumble every Sunday at 3. Which I have the thing. I think if you're not getting the email, I think that might be on your end. I think you have to opt in to get the email
Okay.
when it goes out. So if you want to check on that, I'm trying to get locals things going, which you can join for free. I do have some songs and videos up there, and I don't know if there was anything. No, that was it. That was it that's coming out right now, and then it's still back to the waiting game.
Yeah.
So that's what I've got going on this week. Um,
Okay.
into next week, I'm still going to be in the waiting game.
Yeah. All right. Well, my week has been a lot of nonsense in a lot of ways. Just it's been kind of the opposite of there's no time. I got to keep going. but that's been torn up between a bunch of different little mini projects, uh,
Right.
which I'm pretty happy. One of them I was working on, not like it's why the green screen's still up, and I'm really excited for that one to come out on the channel. I think people are really gonna like that one, hopefully.
Nice.
But between that and then I finished the first season of Stargate SG-1
Mm.
while building
Yeah.
models, which I'll talk about in a little bit. That first season ends on a cliffhanger, huh? Don't know if you can get away with a cliffhanger that big in regular television nowadays.
Well, that's what you call smart writing and setting leverage.
Yeah, that's very true. I also think that like the show is incredibly well written, except for one, like now 2 episodes. Because at first I was like, okay, well this will probably be like Star Trek, where there are some really great episodes, and there's a
Mhm.
lot of good episodes, and there's a couple bad episodes, and even the episodes that I think weren't well written,
Yeah,
retake.
you're to talk, buddy.
That's right. Even the episodes that I think were not well written, still had some good parts in them. But they play around with how long it's been since the show started,
Hmm.
and they don't reference enough how much time has passed to make things believable when a couple things happen with Teal'c and his family.
Yeah.
Uh, like one episode they'll tell you, well, we've been on hundreds of planets now. It's like, okay, so it's been a while. And then another episode they're like, it's only been a couple months since we started this. Like, okay, well, how long has it actually been? Because I don't want to spoil too much, but there are decisions that Teal'c's family makes that don't make sense in a short time frame.
As long as time's running linear, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
lot I still don't know about the show, obviously, but everything about the cultures and
Yeah.
the story there is still really, really cool. Jack O'Neill, really great character. Just throw that out there now.
Yeah.
If his character continues to grow on the path that he's on right now, probably gonna wind up being one of my favorites, like of all time. He's so good. I'm still a Daniel Jackson fan, but
All right.
Jack O'Neill, very, very good character. That's a solid cast.
No, I think I think Stargate kind of has the probably a lot of the sitcoms started having through that time is because you would have different writers
Yeah,
for different episodes, and I want to say that it was the same thing with Stargate. You're used to having different directors.
right.
It was by the same panel, but there was a time where you started to have different writers, and I don't know if there's been writer strikes and things like that.
Right.
So I'm not 100%. Those times might line up. May have to look at that.
Right. I might have to. You can now learn Klingon and Duolingo. Nice.
Yes,
When
you
I can
can.
learn Abadosian on Duolingo, hit me up. Duolingo. It's sponsor the podcast then, and I will learn Abadosian just to speak it on this podcast. Yeah, no, I'm really enjoying it. Definitely gonna. It is now the de facto like, hey, it's time to build. What am I gonna watch? Stargate. So
Okay. Yeah.
I'm excited for more.
Yeah, it's a good. It's a good show. How many seasons did that end up with? I think it almost got
10.
canceled. Then, like fan demand, pre-internet brought it back for
Right.
for a couple, one or two more.
10 seasons.
Okay, I'll do that.
It's pretty good
The
though.
it's a good sci-fi is it's just a really cool genre, right?
Yeah.
The as it breaks down, and then
Nice.
when it's when it's done right, ah, when sci-fi is done right, it carries you with it, right?
Right.
It still feels human
Yeah.
because um we've been watching Gundam on
Yeah.
Thursday nights uh after after the D&D podcast, and we just kind of finished off that first story arc, right? And
Mhm.
there's some of the things in there that are really good. And of course, this is a kids cartoon, and obviously it's dated.
Right.
And so and I'm gonna get happy with just some of the sounds that it makes because I grew up with those sounds, and it's like there's a spot in my brain where when it goes shing,
Yep.
for the sword. I'm like, dun, dun, dun. I don't know. It just makes me happy.
Yeah.
All I'm saying.
OG
If you,
Gundam. We've been
yeah.
watching
Oh
Mobile
yeah,
Suit
original.
Gundam.
Yes.
Getting him into Gundam now.
There is a lot of Gundam. The yeah, so y'all know the characters better than I do. Amuro, Frabo, Mr. Bright. These are the three characters that kind of the character the I guess out of the main group that we're going to stay with
Hmm.
that kind of uh, I don't know stuck with me. I know there's other members
Right.
around that go along, but these I think these are the three that kind of were pushed forward.
Yeah.
The the setup the setup's good, and I like the suit.
Yeah.
The and I like that they don't hold back. And of course, it's doing the thing right now. I don't know how much longer it'll do it, where it'll replay the intro story
Mhm.
9 months ago. The and I'm sure that'll come to a stop at some point.
Right.
So the writing's not bad,
Hmm.
and this is looking back so many years. Um, the writing's not bad, especially when you take in the fact that once you count in the credits, and you count in your story, you don't have that long
That's right.
of a time period to create a story that sticks with you, resonates.
Right.
I believe that's the industry word with you through the week. So the next week you would come back and watch again when it was
Yeah.
out. In real time. So I'm really impressed with what they combat. Now there's some stuff that doesn't work. It's like there's in General Paolo
Hmm.
when he dies. I'm like, yeah, well, didn't really know him, so
Yeah. I think he
you know,
has 7 speaking lines before that. It's like, well,
maybe. Mm. And three of them are grunts, right?
yeah, yeah,
I think. So yeah, I was like, all right, going with that. But the setup's really good. If you know you're going to do them, which I know more than one person that watches this does, they have just Jar has just uh, tricked them. And this is okay. This is another thing I love. I love another thing I love in the writing is the quotes or references.
Mhm.
They may not be direct quotes, but the references to like the Art of War or
yes,
the Legend of the Five Rings. Um, shoot, I know one of them was from that. The other ones I do believe were from the Art of War. Even in a conflicting situation,
yep.
in I think is it the first episode? You have two of the bad guy suits, the Zine X. The one Char has to keep ordering again.
Xeon Zaku's.
Zaku's. That's what I'm trying to think
So
of.
you
Yes,
had you had Jean
Zaku's.
and Slender.
Yeah, there's a point where they're deciding whether hey, one guy's saying, "Hey, it's just a reconnaissance mission,"
Mm.
and the other guy's saying, "No, we take this opportunity," and both of them use basically a theory out of the Art of War
Yeah.
and talking about that situation.
Hmm.
And so, right at that point, they're both correct. As going by what they were looking at. So there's
Right.
there's a lot of little clever stuff that they're getting in, and maybe 20 minutes worth of story for these first episodes. So I don't know. Uh, Char has and Char lives the art of war.
Yeah, he does.
When they think he can't attack, he does. When they're worried about him doing it, he doesn't. I don't know. He's got him off guard, and of course now he's got them back in his territory. So we'll see how that turns out, and I'll be doing a little bit more studying on that next Thursday. Get a little bit deeper into that.
We've just finished the intro arc, leaving side 6, and we are on Earth. So we have watched 7 episodes, I believe.
6 or 7,
Yeah,
6. We watched
that's
6
right. 6
because
episodes.
they just came through the atmosphere. The Gundam suit.
That scene has affected so much over the years. That
Um,
reentry scene.
Yeah. They just re-entered, and so they found out that yeah, great, they're back on Earth, but they're in the wrong place.
He has just met Garma Zabi, but doesn't really know anything about Garma yet.
Yeah,
Keep that in mind, chat. Keep that in mind, comment section. We're trying not to spoil him. I think you mentioned
yeah,
the writing earlier, and I think the writing in OG Gundam is very, very good. I think It's not Tomino's best work. I think his best work comes in Turn A Gundam, but character-wise. But I think that setting-wise, I mean, and I'm not the only one, obviously, because this setting has exploded, right? There's so many games and movies and shows and books set in this setting. This setting is so interesting, and it does some really good stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny because I played not as much as I played obviously Shadowrun or D&D or anything like that, but I played Macross, which became Robotech.
Yeah.
Which is not Gundam, but is Gundam.
Yes, it's very similar.
Yeah. And that's actually where I remember the first idea of a transformer was Macross, because they had the picture on the one with the jet turning back in. It had the legs coming down.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember what that one was. Anyway, off topic. Sorry.
It's Valkyries in Macross, Veritex in Robotech.
Yeah.
Journey Jabro is very, very good. I'm still a sucker for the Muso games and Zeonic Front, but Journey Jabro is very.
Yeah, I wanted them to take. I wasn't even a Gundam fan, but I remember playing. Gosh, they just brought out another one. I'm very excited about. I actually want to play it. It wasn't. I think it was last year. Oh, you're a fighting robot. The game was so fast on the old
Mega
system.
Man? No, sorry,
No.
that was a dumb joke. That's a Mega Man cartoon joke.
It wouldn't have. Oh my gosh. Oh, I ran for the go.
I can't resist that.
I can't remember it. I'll think of it like 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, that's what that was. Yeah.
It's OG Gundam's very good.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you to watch more. And really excited for you to get to Zeta, because that's one of my top 3.
Okay. Now look, you've been sitting there itchy. I know you have. I haven't seen this. What you've been waiting to talk about.
I have one more thing to talk about before we go to that. Because I've been watching one other thing.
Oh, okay. What you been watching?
I started Kamen Rider Revice.
Now, when this come out?
This is the newest one that came out this year. Are we watching in chronological order? That's the plan right now, depending on how he likes OG Gundam. We'll see how that lines out. That's the plan right now. Maybe we'll do a big special thing for one of the movies.
Maybe so. I'd like to watch it in chronological order. I like the MCU, and we can have a big discussion about this and everything. But there's movies in the MCU that were just kind of okay for me, that feel better in. It's like, okay, when it's in chronological order, that movie works a little bit better.
Yeah.
I think Captain Marvel was a big one. I like it better coming right after the first Avenger.
Yeah.
In that order, it just feels better.
We'll see how far it goes. If he's digging it, we'll keep going. There's so many good Gundam shows I want to show him. But you know what's also good? Kamen Rider Revice. So you haven't actually seen Charge Counterattack? So Kamen Rider Revice is, every Kamen Rider season's different. They're all very separate from each other. Kamen Rider Revice is maybe the coolest first episode out of any of them.
What are you saying? Are you saying revise?
Revice.
Like with a C?
Yeah. But it also works as like revise.
Okay. Well, I was wondering if it's like, because I was having trouble, because I was wondering if it was like, you quit smoking, then you go back to smoking again. You revise.
Yeah, you revise.
That's what it was. Okay.
So every Kamen Rider series has its own thing going on, its own universe. And in this universe for Revice, episode 1 spoilers, I guess, but it's the first couple minutes they explain it. In Revice, a scientist has figured out how to separate people from their inner demons, from the things that drag them down.
I'm joining the resistance. I'm telling you that now. Sorry, go ahead.
It's so crazy because bad people called Deadmans, who are dressed like Dia de los Muertos villains. One of them is literally just dressed like a mariachi. Steal the Vishtamps, which have the inner demons in them, and create monsters with them out of people. And the main character of Kamen Rider Revice has to accept his inner demon that wants to eat people and work together with him to transform into Kamen Rider Revice, Kamen Rider Revi, and Kamen Rider Vice. From episode 1, we have 2 writers, and they're both so cool. The whole sequence where they fight in episode 1, like with really, really good teamwork, because of course they do. They're part of each other.
Right.
You know, of course they work together really well, and they don't get along. It's really, I mean, at one point he looks at a woman and just goes, time for my snack. And it's like, all right, Vice, all right, calm down.
You don't do that on camera.
Right. But it's really cool, the setup. Main character's pretty interesting so far. I like him. He's got a lot of, hey, I gave up, for some reason, he gave up his dream, and we don't know yet, which is probably what caused his inner demon to become so strong. But it's like, hey, I've got to protect my family, because something, like, he knew something was wrong already, and I don't know what that is, like, what triggered it, but...
I didn't mean to laugh at you. Giving up his dream caused him to become a monster. Like, leaning back, it's like going, yeah, what's he? Because you know what I got up on my wall.
I do.
Y'all were so close.
Or about Zeta and Double Zeta, they get more political and strategy than anything else. That's fair. Yeah, no, Revice is super cool so far. And also, the music for Revice is really good. The opening theme is called Dealing with the Devil, because the whole thing is like you're working with your inner demons. And it goes like dealing with the devil, and then it's so good. It's really, really solid, and I'm excited to watch some more of it, because it, like I said, it's probably the best first episode of any Kamen Rider I've seen. And O's has an incredible first episode, but I think this might still be better than that.
Does this count? Is this a 31st and 32nd Kamen Rider then, since there's two of them in this one?
It's still just counting as one, because they come from the same body originally. But it's the main writer is Revice, which is Revy and Vice together. So I really want to see where they go with this, because it could get pretty crazy. There's also like some stuff, unfortunately, that's lost in translation. I
can imagine.
Yeah, it's even more than normal, because like when Ikki transforms the first time into Revice, the build is your fave. Build is the one that you always talk about. There is like you know how we used Messenger for a lot of stuff here, or Discord or Skype? In Japan, it's Line, right? Line is their text messaging system. And while they are transforming, there is a conversation that goes on between Ikki and Vice in line next to the transformation. And I had to pause and go back and read it. And the conversation is basically like, hey, you ready to do this, partner? It's like, you just tried to eat my mother. We can't just move past this, you know? And it's like, it's so good to have this cross talk back and forth between these two that are basically the same person, but also are not okay with each other.
Who has inner demons like this? What is it? Who is this? Oedipus?
I'm excited to find out.
Oh my gosh.
Before I move on, though, I will say, too, one last thing. People are a little upset with Vice because he breaks the fourth wall. It's common, right? It's tokusatsu. It's silly. It's supposed to be silly, played straight, right? And so when Vice, at one point, Ikki uses an axe weapon, and Vice goes, well, what's that called? And he's like, he doesn't have a name. And he goes, well, let's call it the Gould Chopper or something like that. And Ikki's like, why? No. And Vice just turns from him to look directly at the camera and says, you're cool with that, right? Right. And it's like, well, yeah, of course we are. It doesn't matter what it's called.
See, I understand what it said. They totally ruined that scene. Because when you turn to that and go, what is that called? The guy should have went, axe. Then he goes, hey.
Right.
Then he breaks the fourth wall.
Yeah,
and goes,
yeah.
Hey. No, I'm kidding.
It's really good. I like it. But we should move on to the other thing that I'm super excited about.
Is there another level to this?
Okay. So everybody, if you're an audio only listener, I'm sorry. This is the section of the podcast every week that is probably insufferable for you. But I have prepared a video because we have so much trouble with the thing focusing, you know? So, I got all the models primed this week. And so there are the custodies. And behind them are the Orc Commandos. Video's a little shaky because I took it with my phone. There is audio, but I've cut it out so you can hear me. Those are the Death Guard. They look so good, primed white. So excited to paint them. There is a Thousand Sun that I accidentally put with a Death Guard, so I just moved him over real quick. Don't worry about that. The Assault Intercessors, the Skitari Rangers. Then we have the Veteran Guardsmen. And then there's the Thousand Suns. And at this point, I'm going to pause the video because I flip it. And so rotate this. That's the wrong way. Rotate this. Move it down here.
Yeah.
Those are the Necrons. Those are the Tau. That is the Def Dread that my girlfriend put together and magnetized so that she can switch the weapons. And those are the Sisters, all primed and ready to use. The Def Dread's not yet primed, but that's the rest of the armies. And then over here, those are my Blood Angels and her Orcs. And then over here are the new ones. Those are the Kabalite Warriors. And I'm very proud of how they turned out. That one guy's got the Date Masamune helmet. And then I also built some Incursors and Aggressors for my Blood Angels.
Very nice.
Super happy with how that turned out.
Next step, huh?
Yep. From here, I don't know. It's just painting. From here, I got to pick up. There's still so much more that I need. But, we'll get there. We'll get there.
All right. I'm sure you will. That's a lot, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff tied in there, but the game is really fun to play, and we got some updates coming for it later. So.
Nice. Make my
I'm excited.
notes. Dude, you should be. That's a lot. That's a lot of work you put in putting all those together and getting them primed, dude.
Yeah, and then the paint's gonna make them just really pop.
Yeah, really be able to see the differences in the groups.
Mm-hmm.
Check out the different groups, dude. That looks very good.
Thank you. Gundam models you don't have to paint, so there's an extra step there that you can skip. But I'm really excited to get into painting. I'm excited. Did you miss any groups? You miss the people that just want to be left alone. Older models you had to paint. That's true. I do have an old Tall Geese model that is rough shape because I never painted it. All right. Well, let's move into reviews.
Reviews. All right. Let's see if we picked the right ice cream this week, people.
Spoilers. I did not. I did not. Their paints are kind of flat. That's very true. We still have the old ice cream. Or the new old ice cream. I have to say. Also, I didn't bring it up, but I am still playing Elden Ring. We're going to talk about it next week, so I didn't bring it up today. But because next week's when the spoilers come off. But I'm 40 hours in now and still really liking it. So
that's going to be next week's podcast.
That's right. Yeah. Let's talk about Babylon's Fall. This is a really interesting game to cover for reviews because it's a game that when it was announced, had a lot of like really, really high profile names attached to it, being made by Square Enix. It was originally going to be a story-based game as you climbed a tower, submerged hidden depths, last cube, moose man at far changing tides. No. Then at some point, dev team changed.
Yeah,
and
this has had some trouble for a number of years now, hasn't it been?
Yeah.
2017?
2017 with a really cool combat system made by Platinum. Looked really good then. And then it changed from being a story-based game, climbing a tower, to being a games-as-a-service game.
See, I don't remember. Like I said, this name has been around for a long time,
right?
And I don't remember if this is a developer problem, a software problem, or if this is a producer problem.
Right.
So,
This is the game that asked if they could borrow models from Final Fantasy 14. And at the time, we were kind of tentative. It's like, hey, this could be cool, you know?
Yeah.
Now we have the results, and I won't spoil them for you. You'll have to find out for yourself whether it succeeded or whether it failed.
Yeah.
But again, it is games as a service, as Dark is pointing out in the chat. What do you think the critic average score is for Babylon's Fall?
I just don't have much faith in this. I'm think I'm gonna start out with a 74 on this
Okay.
for myself and give it a 74. And give the
Push the
chat a chance. Push the button, give the chat a chance here. We got a 63 from Waverly. Faith Ann was 72. Let's do that.
The score
Yeah.
is 43.
Wow. Ooh.
Dark was a lot closer with that 8 than anyone might have thought.
Wow.
It might as well be an 8 when it has a 43 on OpenCritic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me read some reviews for you. I want to.
No, that's gonna be their recommended score.
We've never covered this person's blurbs on the channel, this outlet's blurbs on the channels before, but Gamers Heroes says, my time with Babylon's Fall was a strange one. I don't recall ever disliking a game so heavily, only to fall in love with it moments later. The satisfaction-driven nature of the experience is a road worth taking, but the slow burn isn't for everyone.
Okay.
And we have Destructoid, who says, an exercise in apathy. Neither solid nor liquid. Not exactly bad, but not very good either. Just a bit meh, really.
That's might become one of my favorite reviews ever.
Yep.
Just a bit muh.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I have two more for you here.
Okay.
Twinfinite says, the true problem of Babylon's Fall is that it has no sense of identity. There's nothing that sets it apart from games like it, and it only shows itself as a poor comparison to other free games. Babylon's Fall feels like it was made to check a box because it just so empty and because it feels, it should be the word in there, I think they lost that word, just feels so empty and slapped together. The cookie cutter levels only serve to wear you down as you want to make it through main missions that are just about your only way to play the game. At the end of the day, Babylon's Fall is a live service game. Assuming it survives this rocky launch, there's enough potential to maybe transform it into something much better in the future. And then The Gamer says, even with Platinum Games' signature combat and some mechanics brought in from its past work, Babylon Falls short in every department. Any hope I had were quickly dragged down by wonky combat mechanics, a below-average narrative, poor graphics, and even worse aesthetic choices that only make the whole experience even more unenjoyable and frustrating. Babylon's Fall is a poor man's attempt at a cash grab that doesn't even get that right. No one is going to want to spend money on it.
I'm gonna go with 35.
Okay. What is the critic average or the critic recommended score? Chat. Usually it isn't even after a couple years. Yeah, I mean, look at what happened with Anthem, right?
Yeah.
Well, we'll fix it.
No.
Anthem is shutting down.
No, this sounds like they're trying to get a little bit of money back. That's all.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going anywhere with this. They're trying to scrounge some money back off people who spend a few bucks to review it, or spend some money to review it, or do something with it.
Oh, Dark. If you go back and look at the video that I made of my first impressions of Anthem when I played the demo, I was so excited for Anthem. I was going to be the big heavy mech guy with the shoulder cannon mortar.
Nope.
It's almost as disappointing as this recommended score, which is 10%.
Dang, that was really low because we had a 49 and 38, and I had a 35. I'm not surprised though. This sounds like they're just. I doubt this game goes. Like I said, I think they're just dropping it, trying to salvage just some money back, and then write off what they
Expect
can.
it to go to Game Pass soon.
Yeah.
Gamers Heroes gave it an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Throw that out there. Destructoid gave it a 5. Twinfinite gave it a 2. And The Gamer gave it a 1.
Wow. I guess the title is apt.
Babylon's Fall. Next up is Gran Turismo 7.
Oh man. Sony exclusive still, yeah.
Yep. Racing game to end all racing games, they say.
Horizon the Forza Horizon really put a high bar on realism going, and I don't
Yeah,
know, but Gran Turismo is the granddaddy of that.
it is.
I got high hopes for this game. I want a good push for Sony.
What do
I'm
you
gonna go.
think the average
Not,
score is?
I'm gonna go 97.
97.
Yeah.
All right, chat. What do you think?
82.
It's pretty difficult, but it has been done.
Oh,
So
yeah,
still
it has.
possible.
Yeah, it has.
82, 94, and 80. The correct answer is 87.
Okay, so I was a little bit high on my shot, but we were all about around that ballpark. That's not a bad score.
God is a
Good
Geek
pick,
says
hey.
Gran Turismo 7 is a wonderful celebration of 25 years of the top racing franchise. It looks stunning and is filled with so much to do. And
Yeah.
I'm just going to point this out. That's
Yeah.
on the back of the box.
Yeah.
That's one of those. Keep that in mind. Games Radar says everything that made GT Sport is so good, plus everything that made early Gran Turismo games so good. A simply stunning driving game and a superb showcase for PS5. Then we have. Here it is. The Outer Heaven Productions says Gran Turismo 7 is probably the best racing simulation game on the market right now. Something that every car fanatic needs to own. Gran Turismo 7 allows you to fine-tune everything from the motor to the circuits to the paint and more. Everything can be made just the way you want it to be. Gran Turismo 7 is also the best-looking game on the PS5. Period. Everything is reflective, from the paint to the chrome on the wheel covers. It's amazing. If you're a racing fanatic, then this is the game for you.
How many more you got?
I have two more for you.
Okay, hold on, before you go on.
Yeah.
Yeah, these reviews, agree with Dark. These reviews are nothing, so I make fun of them 90% of the time. Two, I would say the only reason this thing's not in the 90s is because it is Gran Turismo.
Right.
If this came out on any other game, because the expectations for this are stupid high. You know,
Yes.
I'm going for that. So if there's any reason that would be my given. But you got two more to read out?
I do. And the first one is a legitimate review, and the other one is our punching bag.
Okay.
VGC says, if you can suffer through the clunky menus, endless dull dialogue, and 100 visits to the cafe, then there's an excellent racing game somewhere hidden in Gran Turismo 7.
Yeah.
That's a good word.
That's what I was waiting on, yeah.
And then Screen Rant says, a truly comprehensive racing game.
That's it? Or you got more to that?
No,
I hope
that's
you
it.
got more to that.
That's if it wasn't so hard to get the setup right, I would literally have just got up and walked away. That's
That was literally, I honestly think that was, for the very first Gran Turismo, that was the marketing point.
yeah, it was. It was comprehensive.
Because you could, oh my gosh.
I imagine my 6-year-old little brother could give me a better blurb than that. He didn't even touch the game, and he could give me a better blurb than that.
That's awful.
The cars look good is a better blurb than a truly comprehensive racing game. Comprehensive of what? What all does it entail? What?
So yeah, I was waiting for the whole thing, because they do this thing, and Forza does it too, where like, you make your character, and the character creation in Forza's crap. Obviously, I haven't played Gran Turismo 7 yet. But you go through this whole thing, and they try to make this whole intro of it like this, this big like art story that
Right.
No, you don't. Nobody's playing that game for that. They're playing to get new cars and drive around fast and see how far they can jump.
Right.
They don't care who, why you're there.
Yeah.
For
sure.
that. So
That's
yeah,
legitimately not a full statement because it doesn't open properly. Yeah, it's not. But
so that's
you
why.
paid so much more than I do.
That's why I find people who actually play a game then like write out an article explaining their points on that game, like fascinate me, because that's like that takes effort.
Right.
What you just said is ridiculous and should not. Nobody should get paid for that.
Right.
I'm actually getting angry now. Nobody should get paid for that.
And like I know my reviews are rambly, right? When I cover Trails of Cold Steel 4 in 47 minutes on a YouTube video, where I'm just
Yeah.
going through the entire game and talking about all the cool stuff that I love, the character moments that really mattered to me. I get where somebody will go, hey, all I want to know is if he liked it.
Well,
That's not even a statement of if they liked it or not.
yeah. I mean, you can give, yeah, you could get like if you liked it or not, you could give a good review in 2 minutes.
Right.
You know, you give a fan review in an hour and a half.
Right.
Or 43 minutes. I think what you
Yeah.
said, right? So I don't know. I think they're gonna buy a nice. They're gonna.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? 93. So I'm just.
And this is why Screen Rant is our punching bag. What do you think the critic score is, chat?
Yeah, I think.
92, 94?
94. Yeah.
The score is 96%.
Okay, we shot a little low on that time, but yeah, we're really close on it.
Most people
That's-
seem to like it.
Yeah. What'd they give it, man? What'd they give it?
Finally, for Triangle Strategy, for reviews, Triangle Strategy. I missed a word there. That's what I get for poking fun at that review for missing a word. Haven't played the game, can write more of it. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Oh, easy,
Screen Rant,
easy.
just,
I know. Yeah. No, it's
Screen Rant.
absolutely. It's all, that's why. It's sad that good reviews, like the review you gave before that, right? There's a reason
Right.
you gave that review. That was concise.
Yeah.
It was a quick thing to look at, and it can help you decide whether or not you want to buy the game.
Right.
If you're in a race, it's that other one. Yeah, I know that it's Gran Turismo 7.
Tell me about the game.
Yeah, if it wasn't a comprehensive racing game, Sony's Twitter would have burned down.
That's right. That's right.
I don't know.
So,
And
go ahead.
Triangle Strategy. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Triangle Strategies. I know a lot of people have been very excited about this. It's the same people as Octopath.
It's same
Traveler?
people being
Yeah,
made
good looking.
instead of a turn-based RPG. This is a tactics RPG being made in the vein of, say, a Final Fantasy Tactics or a Fire Emblem, with supposed to be a really deep story. Visuals are very nice. The music's very nice so far. Seems pretty cool. It's not to my knowledge, Dark, but I also haven't got far enough in to be able to say yes or no. So I am still on the free demo that was put out. And just as a reminder, the free demo is a good chunk of the game and transfers over to the full game if you want to check it out. We're not sponsored.
And-
Nintendo would never sponsor us, but just saying.
That's the wrong triangle, Dark.
So yeah, this is it's kind of a niche genre now. Tactics games have kind of gone. They're nowhere near as popular as they used to be. There was a time where
Yeah.
War of the Lions and Tactics Ogre Let Us Cling Together, were like the biggest games around. XCOM
Yeah.
kind of reinvigorated that, and then again it has waned again.
What was that they had the indie game that got real big, the bear. Oh, Bannerlord.
Yeah,
With-
Bannerlord. Yeah.
Because they had Banner. They ended up making 3 of those.
Yeah, they did. Ogres and triangles. So let me read a couple, or before I read reviews, what am I doing?
Yeah.
What do you think the critic average score is for Triangle Strategy?
I think they're going to give this around. I think it's going to be mid 80s. I'm going to shoot at 83 though. I think 83. Yeah.
81 plus.
Okay.
87.
7. That's a good. Yeah.
92.
92 for
Does,
Wesley.
does the plus mean if it's above an 81, you automatically get it? Because I think that breaks the system.
No. 1 plus every time.
82 is the correct score.
Okay, that's not
Almost there.
almost there. 1 point over.
So
1 point over.
let me read a couple of these reviews for you. Nintendo World Report, who are definitely going to be unbiased since they're a Nintendo website.
Yeah,
grid
especially
style-
after last week's events.
Yeah. The grid-style turn-based combat lives up to the best of its predecessors, and while it may lack the customization, I forgot this word was in the review. It's not a real word. While it may lack the customizability of a job system, the cavalcade of recruitable party members is a worthy replacement. Whether you're in it for the story, the gameplay, or the aesthetics, the total package is one for the ages, and from any angle, the strategy is clear. Add Triangle Strategy to your Switch library. Maybe tell friends and family to end their turn. You're going to be busy for a while.
Okay.
That's why I had to read that one, because I could not. We have IG in Italy who says triangle strategy is an intense and rewarding experience, perhaps not gritty, but incredibly solid and deep.
Okay.
Customizability isn't a bad word. No, it doesn't exist right now, but lots of words didn't exist until they did. Yeah, customizability could become a word.
Okay.
Customization works, though. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Game Informer says playing Triangle Strategies battles is probably the easiest and most carefree part of the experience. There's a lot of fun in strategizing and watching your character's abilities shine, and I loved outsmarting the competition. The hardest part of the journey is the choices alongside the bleak realities it makes you confront about injustices of the world. The game has multiple endings, letting you pick your vision for the future. Even with my ending, which was one for a much more idealized, compassionate world, I was left a little disheartened. But maybe that's the point. And for that, Triangle Strategy isn't like most games you'll play, which is what makes it special, even if it's not always perfect in the delivery of its harsh truths.
Dang. Okay, well,
That's a good
somebody
blurb.
took the game seriously.
Yeah, that's a good blurb.
Yeah. That guy, whoever wrote that, to get ice cream. That was actually that's probably one of the better written reviews.
We normally don't give out names, and I won't give out the last name, but I will say Kimberly, that's a great review.
Yes. Thank you for that.
And then finally, RPG Site says, while its tactical combat is wonderful, issues with the branching narrative and morality systems hold Triangle Strategy back from true greatness.
Did you stop there? That's it?
Yep.
Oh.
I gave you a good one. There's always a diamond in the rough. The rest is rough.
Wow. Okay. How many more we got?
That's it.
Okay. And I'm gonna go based off the good review, the one review that I'm like, okay, I believe her. Okay. While there's things that may not be up to snuff, say in the game, here or there, it's definitely something that I believe she thinks it's worth playing for sure. I'm gonna go 91.
Okay. Got an 85 already. 92. The X said we can go, and the answer is 86%.
Okay, came up a little bit. A little bit.
Very, very cool.
Yeah. Let's do that.
That'll end out reviews for us this week. We have nobody got on the ice cream wall.
No ice cream this week, except
okay.
for Kimberly for writing a great review gets a decent gets an honorary ice cream.
Yeah. Okay, because maybe next week we'll have the right ice cream there, or it'll just be a completely different ice cream. Who knows?
Maybe it would be.
Maybe it'll be ghost cream, ghost ice cream. Hold on, let me add the ice in there quick. Go back. Dang it! Why do you do this to me, past me? Let's talk announcements. We have a couple pretty big ones. There's a State of Play coming tomorrow for Sony.
Oh, yes.
And,
sorry, my laptop wasn't plugged in. It was like, hey, I'm going to die.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I plugged it in. I am smart. It's SMRT.
They're saying it's going to be about 20 minutes of PS4 and PS5 first looks and updates, with a special focus on games coming from Japanese publishers. Of course, a lot of people saw this and immediately went, Silent Hill! And it's like, that's probably not. Silent Hill's probably not happening. Don't get your hopes up.
Yeah.
Just don't get your hopes up. But Silent Hill would be cool. So we'll see,
Yeah. I don't know. I'm expecting. We've had a time of cooperation a little bit between the big three. I think that's at an end.
Yeah. I will say. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I just say I think exclusives are going to start getting named, and things are going to start pulled that were already said we're going to be, not exactly said.
Yeah.
That we're going to be non-exclusive, and I'm ready for the sniper fired dirt.
Yeah. I will say while we're talking about this, Sony announced today the Amazing Heroines collection for PS5 and PS4, and it has people a little upset that they've just been like, hey, they're going to be having a special for Japanese studios. And I'll show you why. Here's the image. This is the art that has been used. And as you can see, the full art that was posted on their website has Cat from Gravity Rush, which is made by a Japanese developer. And then the art that went on PlayStation's cuts her out completely to put Discover Amazing Heroines. So it's a little ironic to have those two things happen on the same day. But
yeah, yeah, that would be crazy. Could you imagine somebody doing something like that? Like, I don't know, like presenting, a guy with real dark skin is going to be like a main character. Then take him off a poster when you put it in another country.
Yeah, I
I
wonder who
mean,
would do that.
that would be like
Lucasfilm.
absolutely Disney, the Disney, but I mean, come on.
Yeah, what are you doing? Come on now.
Yeah, that's silly.
It is.
Well, I understand for that, and here's my problem with that. All those are great characters, right? Why? I know why they did it today,
Yeah.
or was it yesterday? That could be celebrated all the time, man.
Yeah. No, I agree. They needed somewhere to put the logo. It just feels
Yeah.
really funny. I mean, they could have just taken out what's her name from Quantic Dream, from whatever that game's called. Put the logo there.
Look, there was plenty of negative space above the cast of characters.
Yeah. Yeah. So the other announcement that we have is the Monster Hunter stream that is coming for Monster Hunter Rise Daybreak or Sunbreak. And that is happening on the 15th of this month. We don't yet know all the information about what's coming with that, but they basically just say, hey, tune in to a Monster Hunter digital event March 2022 for approximately 20 minutes of programming, including exciting reveals of new monsters, gameplay info, and more.
Yeah. They've got a good thing going with Monster Hunter Rise.
Do.
And so I think they're going to try to keep that going.
I hope so. And I really need to get back into that game. Haven't had time. I really love Monster Hunter. Go back and watch the top 10 if you want to see where it wound up. But hopefully they add Legaicrus back, because that's the one I've been waiting on. There's already Mizitsune basically uses Legaicrus' skeleton. That's all I'm saying. Just, throw it in there. But, after that, we get into some weird news.
Some weird news.
There were a few Horizon devs. More specifically, like one main dev and then some other people that were supporting. Getting a little salty on Twitter about Elden Ring. The tweets have been deleted, of course, but it's kind of weird because you don't see this happen ever, right?
Mm-mm.
This never happens. If people have things to complain about other games doing better than their games, they do it in like Slack channels or Discord channels. They don't do it live on Twitter.
Yeah.
But this dev tweeted out the fact that hashtag Elden Ring, and even I hashtagged it. What are you doing? Scored a 97 Metacritic is proof that reviewers don't give a flaming poop about game UX. My life is a lie.
People can be stupid.
Yeah. Like I get being upset that your game didn't do as well. For sure. I get that. Probably shouldn't have released it the same week as Elden Ring or the previous one as Breath of the Wild. But at the end of the day, I get why you're frustrated, right? But getting frustrated, those two games are not the same. Horizon and Elden Ring are not the same.
No, and look, pay attention. You knew the hype coming for this.
Yeah.
You knew you knew how many people, how many fans, and the fandom clamoring for this and waiting for it. You knew how big it was going to be.
Yeah.
This has happened with movies, where a great movie or really good movie is released, but it released around the same time as a blockbuster, so to speak.
Yes.
So it goes under the radar. You got to be in time all the way across. People got very short attention spans, so make sure you've got a window, to catch their attention.
Right.
And releasing it around that is not a
right. I won't specify who this is or where they worked in the company, though they did work on the UI. That's as much as I'll say, because I don't want to start a witch hunt here. Like, this is not.
Well,
Like,
there's
the
no
guy
point
made
in
a
going
mistake.
after the guy.
You know?
I mean, he's already see. This is the thing. There's no point in doxing or going after this person. They've already hung themselves.
Yeah.
They've already said what they said. They can delete all the twits they want.
Yeah.
But it's the internet, so they've well they either go hide and disappear because you said something stupid,
Right.
or own up to it and fix it and apologize.
And I get why some people like saw this and jumped on it, because Elden Ring does have some things that I understand why people would be upset. Like, it doesn't have a quest log. You have to manually remember where all the NPCs are for your quest. There's nothing to. You could mark them on the map yourself, but there's nothing that auto marks them on the map. The UI is very simple. It's not. There's not a lot of stuff on it.
Yeah.
But if you go into the menus, you can pull up an explanation that tells you what everything does. So it's just a different philosophy, right? And Horizon has a lot more stuff on the UI, but that's all there is to it. It's just a different philosophy.
Here's the thing about that. The PlayStation and Xbox messed up help. And I'll tell you how. This is how they did it. They got away. Usually, you get game boxes with the instruction manual in it. You get all excited as a kid, read the instruction manual all the way home. Blah blah. Right now, you get a lot of games digitally.
Right.
Used to, they didn't. You couldn't download. You wouldn't download the manual or anything with the game. So when you hit help on a game,
right,
when 360 came out and the PS3, it took you online.
Yeah.
To a site.
Right.
It took you out of the game.
It did.
And it got to where it was a few years where I'd even hit help.
Right.
Because at that point, the way that,
why would you?
Right. Well, look, the system can't handle it, right?
Yeah.
At that point, you're restarting the game anyway.
Yeah. And
I'm going through.
Again, I get why that's frustrating for some people to be like, hey, this doesn't appeal to me because it doesn't have these things. Whereas for me, as somebody who grew up with, OG Dragon Quest, OG Final Fantasy, OG Legend of Zelda, games that didn't have quest logs, that didn't have any way to track your quest other than either writing it down or remembering it. That's what I loved,
Well, yeah, and this is,
I don't like it when games tell me, well, now you need to go talk to that guy again.
Right, but it's not. This is not a game. It's gotten huge, but it was never presented as a game for everybody.
Right.
I don't recall that ever being. There's people that
it's always
don't
been
like
a niche.
Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Miyazaki makes games that he wants to play. That's what it comes down to. He makes games that he wants to play, and the people that like that game, and the people that don't. And I do want to bring up something that Dark brought up. A lot of people that say they like them just do it so they can lord over other people they beat them. That's true, unfortunately. There are a lot of people that play these games just to beat them and then go, well, I beat them. When it's like, hey, man, just enjoy the experience. Just, if it's your thing, it's your thing. If it's not, it's not. That's fine. We don't need to attack devs for making a good game that they liked.
No.
What?
No, it's silly. Is what it is.
It is
absolutely silly. The and look that now, you haven't really done any favors for your game either. Going after
for sure,
doing that.
There are people that will never play Horizon now because that happened.
Yeah.
It will happen because people go, oh, well, that's the game with it. It happened with what's his name? I completely forgot his name now. I gotta look it up.
All right.
What is that? Phil Fish. That's his name. I didn't even have to type it out. It happened with Phil Fish. The man lost his mind in an interview, and there are people that go, well, I'll never play his games now. Because he called gamers stupid who needed their hands held to be able to play video games. Phil Fish, yes, thank you. So Fez looks like a really cool game. Guess what? I'm not gonna play. I don't want to play a game made by this guy that thinks that he's the smartest human being on the planet.
Yeah, there's no. I don't know. There's really no room for this because there's so many. I don't like a game. That's fine.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But to get mean about it,
right?
because look at the array of
Life's too
games
short
we
for
have
that, man.
access to right now.
Yeah.
You know, you
If you don't want to
Elden
play
Ring
that game,
getting
that's
this
fine. Go
big.
play the next one.
It's true. And look, as much as you may hate it, Elden Ring getting this big is good for the gaming market.
Yeah. Because it's a different type, it's a different design philosophy. It reminds people, hey, you don't have to keep just making the same things over and over again. You can make something
Yeah.
weird and out there. It's if Sekiro had done better, it would have done that because it was weird and dodging was not the main go-to. Neither was blocking. It was all about counters, and it was very
Mhm.
different in that way. It's kind of like what Sifu is going through with right now, where Sifu is a very different game, and unfortunately, it's very difficult. And so a lot of people just bounced off it and will never try that game and never learn from that game to make more
Yeah.
weird games, you know?
Yeah. Mm, I will.
What can you do? And the worst part is, I haven't tried Forbidden West yet, and even now, I'm like, do I want to?
Well, that's the
That's the problem. That's the other problem, Dark, is that it's there will be some people that get
yes, that
inspired by
will.
it and go, "Hey, let's make cool new stuff," and other people
And
that go, "Oh, that's the big thing," and they did it with Gotcha, and they
anything,
did it with
anything.
shooters, and they
Yes.
did it with Battle Royale,
Look,
Breath
and
of the
that goes.
Wild.
Music, movies,
Yep,
games. It's going to happen every time. If something's successful, is good. But so your statement is absolutely true, Dark. It will. There's going to be copycats. You know, you have Breath of the Wild. A few years later, you've got Gomcha. You know,
it
and
just
people are
it
loving it.
yeah it people need to innovate instead of derivate.
Look, and I realize like you can go listen to my music. It's okay.
Hmm.
I'm not trying to be anybody else with
Right.
it, but so much, man. We've got up at work. We got this. They have the station they play that runs their
Right.
commercials for it, a music type thing. I mean, not only are so many of the songs sound the same, so many of the songs start out, and I'm thinking it's another song,
Yeah.
and it's not it. There's no, the production's the same, everything's going the same, and it's a problem. Anytime something is successful, I don't
Right.
care what art for, especially in art, you're gonna have copycats, and yeah, it sucks
For sure.
because you get people getting rewarded for making trash,
Yeah.
copycat trash from people that don't know. They just want to check it out.
Yeah. For sure. And this is like I've been accused of being a hipster before because I like my stuff niche, even though I've got a video on the channel that says don't gatekeep because I don't think we should gatekeep. I think
No,
that the difference is we should keep innovating. We should keep making new things. And I like my souls to just be souls. I don't like them to be anything else. I don't like them to try and be anything different. I like my MMOs to be MMOs. I don't like them to try and be games as a service as well, like Lost Ark is trying to do.
yeah,
I want my games to just be themselves and cool ideas to be able to be cool ideas. I don't need Lords of the Fallen. Okay? I don't need Lords of the
oh,
Fallen.
God.
That's
That game was a disappointment.
when somebody
God,
goes, "Hey, I'm going to do what the Souls game do and not change anything, but I'm going to change it to be bad. I'm going to do that idea but not understand what made that idea good."
yeah,
Ugh.
it was. Lord of the Fallen was horrible, absolutely horrible.
I am a hipster. My hips don't lie.
Yeah, yeah, I'm a bit of a hipster myself. But it's the thing though, right? Uh just because it's old doesn't mean it's outdated or bad. Just because it's new
Yeah,
doesn't mean it's replacing anything
right.
that automatically it's bad. It's that
Right.
people get, like you say, they gatekeep over stuff.
I
And
do.
it's in every community,
It
gaming,
is.
books. Oh, dude, music community. Goodness
Oh, I'm
gracious.
sure. I'm sure.
Yeah. But
Just let
yeah,
people
anything
enjoy
to,
stuff, man. Don't. Why are you going? Oh, you like Elden Ring and you don't like my game that I made? Stop having fun.
yeah.
And at the same time, people that love Elden Ring, it's not going to be for everybody. Don't get mad at your friends if they don't like it. Just enjoy your thing.
Exactly.
Stop being a jerk. Rule one of the internet. Don't be a jerk.
And obviously his plan worked so well because Elden Ring's doing pretty good.
Yeah,
In fact,
Elden Ring has hit 6th most popular game on Steam of all time.
yeah, that's that's quite an achievement in a very short time, considering the length of time Steam's been out
It
and the amount
really
of games
is.
they've gone through that.
And this is for better and for worse in some ways, because there's a lot of people that this is not their niche. There's a lot of people that are finding it and going, hey, I actually do really like this thing. There's a lot of people that are going, hey, this is not for me. Thankfully, you can refund it.
Well, I think a lot of people may be getting it thinking it's a third-person Skyrim,
Yeah, for sure.
and that's not what it is.
Dark, this game is a lot more forgiving in that exploring is the name of the game. You can just grind against bosses if you want, but this game's really made to just like explore, go around the open world, find cool stuff, and then go back and destroy things that you kill in one hit, even though you haven't upgraded your weapon. But at the same time, if you want it to be super hardcore, yeah, just rush those bosses down, man. Go for it. The experience is yours, you know? This game is in some ways harder, in some ways easier than every other Souls game because of that. I have bosses that I have beaten completely out of order now that I should not have been able to get to because I went to a place that took me to a place that took me to a place, found a hidden path, did a thing, and now I've killed one of the major world bosses that I shouldn't even be able to get to yet. And then I have bosses that I'm at way sooner than I should be, destroying me. But I've beaten every one of the major bosses in like 2 tries.
Yeah, so you go back and kneecap and whip them.
Yeah.
You go back through. But sorry.
No, you're good.
We talked about it not too long, but people throwing a fit about what level or
Right.
what difficulty setting
Yes.
people play a game on, which is absolutely stupid.
Yes.
You know, most games now they try to accommodate people that maybe just want a story. You know,
this game does not do that.
Maybe that, and then on the other end make it hard. So there's a lot out there that's doing that.
Right.
That, like you said, this not being for everybody, you'll be able to find something in that niche.
Yeah.
So it, like I said, if he doesn't, if the developer who salty didn't like the game, fine.
Right.
You don't like the game, that's cool.
Yeah.
No problem with it. Don't like the game, that's fine.
Everybody's allowed their opinion.
Yeah, go play something else. And it'd be awesome.
While we're talking about Elden Ring, I just want to throw this out there to the people who say that you didn't beat the game if you beat it using summons. The Ashes system in this game is specifically made so you can summon people like NPCs if you don't want to summon online people. It's a completely legitimate way to beat the game. Stop talking. That's all I'm saying. Just stop. You enjoyed the game your way. Let other people enjoy the game their way. The game lets you do it. So it must be intended. Thanks.
Right.
Throwing that out there. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's the people who play them just to gloat. Is like, well, I beat the game without summons. I beat the game level 1 with a spoon. It's like, yeah, and I watched Lobos Jr. beat the game level 1 with a spoon too. And he was really nice about it the whole time. So what's wrong with you?
Yeah, I don't understand.
Oh. You know what else I don't understand?
What is that, sir?
Rimworld's being removed from Australian Steam.
That's another reason why I'm losing faith in Australia. I don't know.
So let me give you this statement from people who beat these levels or not. That's very true. That's very true. Let me read this statement from the devs for you here. Hello, everyone. Unfortunately, we've just been informed that Rimworld has just been made unavailable for new purchases by Australian customers on Steam. This does not seem to affect existing owners. It only prevents new purchases. Anyone who already owns the game is still able to play, receive updates, and access community features like the forums and the workshop. The ideology and royalty expansions are also not affected. We don't have a ton of information about this since it just happened within the last few hours. It's Friday evening, and most people we could ask are not at work. From the info we have, this happened because a few days ago, the Australian Classification Board classified a potential console version of RimWorld as refused classification, meaning it can't be sold as in Australia. We did not expect this to affect the Steam version. because in previous similar cases, as with Disco Elysium, for example, an RC rating on a console version did not affect the availability of the PC version on Steam. We're not sure why this decision was made in Rimworld's case. I'm sorry this news was so sudden, and for anyone who is frustrated by this, we're working to resolve the situation and make Rimworld available to everyone again as soon as possible, but we don't yet know what that might require, how long it may take. Thanks for your understanding, everyone.
This is so stupid.
Yep.
This is bad as the YouTube bannings.
Yep.
You know, I don't look. I'm very anti-censorship, but if you
Right.
if you're gonna do this, give a reason.
For sure.
You
At
know,
least tell the devs you're doing it.
give them a chance to fight back. Give them a chance. You know, what is it that if it's just a coding issue, that's the problem with the distributor, not the
Right.
developer. You know.
Why is the
God.
dev finding out? Because people are telling them they can't buy the game. Why is the dev not receiving a notice from Steam?
Yeah, it's really really it's it makes me wonder. I don't want to say too much because there's just not any information.
Yeah.
You know, I've got right now, as far as I know, we've got as much information as the developers of the
Right.
game have.
There's been no
You know?
update either, so
Man, that's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
yeah, Steam wouldn't have removed it because Steam cared. It would have 100% been because the Australian government was
Mm-hmm.
putting the tax to them. But like, what the heck, man?
Like I said, but they've had like regional coding happens.
Yeah.
That happens in distribution. You have somebody doesn't change those digits, so it'll be read by an
Right.
a DVD player or a game system in a computer in Australia using their I don't even know what region they are down there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just absolutely stupid.
It is. It is.
And I feel bad for the developers.
I do too, because now they have to try and untangle this mess, get their game sellable again. It's so weird. Australia is such a weird country.
It is, and like I said, there's not much to say about it. It's strange news. I hope we get an update and they get that worked out.
Yeah. No
Don't do
offense. I don't mean the people that live in Australia. I mean specifically the government of Australia.
Yeah,
Just if there's anybody
yeah.
watching this that lives in Australia, your government is nonsense, but so is ours. So, next up.
Yeah, no. One that's just as dumb as the other ones. This is so silly.
Yeah.
Go for
Yeah.
it. Say it though.
The Steam Deck is verified for up to 1,000 games now.
They should not be allowed to call this a Steam Deck if it doesn't play every game on Steam.
I agree.
I mean, that's cool, but you're calling it the Steam Deck.
So,
You got a
for anybody who
service that has
doesn't
a
know,
lot more games than that.
it's very true. The Steam Deck is like a Switch, but it plays your Steam games. And realistically, if you're buying it for that, that's cool, but you should probably be buying one because it's a perfect emulator, because it runs emulation natively, which is amazing. But over 1,000 games with many more to come. The Steam Deck is working as intended very well, and soon will be released to the general public. I wanted to hit a couple big names off the list here real quick. Rimworld, for instance, is on there. So
Good. Good.
Terraria, Stardew Valley, Hades, Portal. Let's go by
So
rate.
far, well, I was going to say, so far you've named off stuff I could probably run on my phone.
Right.
And I've got a cheap phone.
Yes. I was trying to look for some of the big ones here. Left 4 Dead 2,
Okay.
Hollow Knight, Half-Life 2, Deep Rock Galactic. That's a very intensive game. Satisfactory.
Which
I didn't even notice the auto mod caught it. Yeah, there you go. There we go. Inscription, which is a great game. Let me just hit another big God of War. It can run God of War.
Yeah, I don't think this is not going to work until they get cloud gaming figured out.
It can also run The Witcher. Witcher 3.
Oh, okay, that's a little bit better.
Yeah, to clarify that. Witcher 3.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't. I mean, there's a lot of games that'll be coming out. They're not going to be that graphically independent or
Right.
graphically dependent.
Intensive.
Excuse me, intensive.
Yeah.
And obviously you get to play on this, so I'm sure the list is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. But it just doesn't. If I'm going to buy a Steam Deck, I want my Warhammer Total War 3 to be able to run on it.
Yeah.
I want to be able to boost the graphics. I want to be
Yeah,
able
I
to
get
use,
you. But you can play Goose Game on it.
I don't.
No, I
Yeah,
agree.
well, yeah, I don't know if
That'll come in time, though.
Bungie's got
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Bungie. But you
Bungie's
can
got
play the
issues,
Yakuza bundle on it, so that's all you need.
right? There you go. I just don't right now because the price they had on the Steam console that they put out, that was a $700 console
Yeah,
that couldn't keep up with those at half price. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to see more out of it
right.
than what they're showing for it to be worth what they're wanting to do with it.
Yeah, I understand for sure. And we'll see how that goes as time continues to pass. They're continuing to support more and more stuff with it. So, make a Steam Deck specific version of the game. Yeah, the Yakuza games, that you're good. You're set. All you
Yeah,
need. So
I
good.
mean that's a lot of hours of gameplay for sure.
It is. Now just get the
But
trails on there and you're set.
was it going to be worth initial investment of $700?
Yeah. I mean, just throwing this out there, but you can play Trails in the Sky, Trails in the Sky Second Chapter, and Trails in the Sky Third on the Steam Deck today. If you have a Steam Deck. Those are all playable and verified. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I want to be the guy in Valve headquarters that is told, all right, we need you to 100% all these Trails games to make sure that they work. All right, I guess I'm going to be here for the next 2 months doing just these 3 games. 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
I love those games, though. I love those games so much. Same with the Yakuza games.
And then the work. just yeah. Can I get that direct deposited so I don't have to go nowhere?
Right. We have the drop of the new Kill Team Dataslate for 40K Kill Team. And the cool thing about this is we didn't know for sure if this was happening. So it's really cool that they're supporting the new Kill Team with Dataslates. These are your patches, your big patch updates. And it's a pretty big change. They make it where you can't do more than, and I'm not going to get too deep into the rules here because I know that of the people currently watching this podcast, I'm probably the only one that actually plays Kill Team. But you can't activate more than 2 operatives before your other player is allowed to activate, which is really cool because there are some abilities that let you use a lot of people. And so the rules are now confirming, like, hey, no, it's up to 2. That's all you get. Got to make it fair. But people that play like Space Marines are now getting an entire new person they can field. People that play Death Guard and Craftworld Eldar are getting a brand new person they can field. And the big thing for Tomb World players, I mentioned the Necrons were really hard to play in Kill Team. That's true. I'm not the only one. Thank you. Necron's reanimation protocols is now free. So it no longer costs CP, which means you no longer have to spend a resource to do it, which means you no longer have to worry about running out of that and not being able to do it. So it's very cool that you can just do that. And then they also mentioned, hey, the game's been out for a little while now, so some of the compendium kill teams are being replaced with the newer versions. So for tournaments, you'll want to bring the newer versions instead of the launch versions.
Buy more minis.
So we'll probably start doing We'll probably start doing like specific videos for these the next time one comes around, because by that point we'll have some more like Kill Team content up on the channel.
Okay.
But I feel like I need to, like, one of the changes is to equipment, and I still haven't played with equipment on, so I don't really want to talk about that change until I know how that works, because I'm still learning the game. So
Fair enough.
I'm excited for that, though. Dragons from Wizards of the Coast. Dragons are very cool. And then the second to last bit of news, and I need to check while we talk about this one if the last bit of news is available yet, because it should be.
Okay.
The GTA 5 upgrade pricing has been revealed.
Yeah, I want to hear this. I didn't go look.
This is a thing. This is a weird thing. So the PS5 version will be 75% off for the first 3 months of launch, at $10 USD for the
Okay.
upgrade.
Okay.
If you have it on PS4, it's $10. After 3 months, the game will cost $39.99. This version of the game includes the single-player story mode and GTA 5 Online.
Okay. Whether you have it or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
The standalone version of GTA Online for PS5 is completely free for the first 3 months of release on PS5.
Okay.
After the first 3 months, the standalone game will cost $19.99
Okay.
for GTA Online.
Okay.
Well, that's a thing, you know.
Boy, somebody's proud of their games.
Xbox Series X and S, they'll be 50% off for the first 3 months of launch, priced at $19.99. And then after 3 months, go up to $39.99. And GTA Online will not be free at launch, but are on sale for 3 months at $9.99. And after 3 months, it's going to be $19.99.
Golly. I don't know.
It's ridiculous.
Like how can this company just keep shooting itself in the I guess because people keep playing it.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
It is ridiculous. Completely and totally ridiculous. What are you doing?
I don't know, man. That's I know I know people are playing games, put a lot of time in, and you know, there's times when they question that $14.99 a month.
Yeah.
You know? And there's oh man, I don't know. That's proud of their games. Golly.
It's not. So this
Yeah.
last one,
Yes, shark cards, many microtransactions. I hate them. Just
yeah.
mm.
This last one is still developing as we go, but I have the current list. Which we'll
Okay.
save real quick too. How dare you sell a game that's been out for over 8 years now for $40 on new consoles? How dare you make the online free and then go, yeah, but after that, you gotta pony up.
Especially after you drop the ball on the destructive edition.
Yeah. Yeah, because it wasn't definitive.
No.
So this last bit of news, the Evo 2022 lineup is still being announced right now as we speak,
Okay.
but we have some of the stuff that's been announced.
So on March 8th, around 8:30 Central, this is what we got.
Yeah. Street Fighter V Championship Edition. Makes sense. Of course.
Yes. Yes.
Guilty Gear Strive. Heck yeah.
That's cool.
Strive is so great. Mortal Kombat 11.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Pretty good choice. Pretty good choice. Tekken 7, of course.
Oh yeah. That'd be cool. I'd like to see that.
King of Fighters 15. Heck yeah.
Golly. Yes. Yeah.
And Melty Blood Type Lumina. That's a pretty cool grab.
Melty Blood Type Lumina.
Yeah, it's an anime fighter, and they almost always pick like an anime fighter. But they didn't pick, so far at least, they didn't pick fighters. They didn't pick Blaze Blue. They picked Melty Blood. Melty Blood is a really cool fighting game.
Okay.
So I'm stoked for that.
Interesting title too.
And my guess is, because we don't have all the rest in yet, we might get Skullgirls. My guess is we're probably still going to get Dragon Ball Fighters. And then there'll be at least one more like off-the-wall pick. I know some people are looking into like Brawlhalla. I don't see that happening. Looks like Fighters just got confirmed. Dragon Ball Fighters just got confirmed.
Oh, there you go.
Yep, there we go. So right now...
Is it like a lottery? Or I wonder how they decide.
They decide them just like ahead of time. They do all the deals ahead of time, and then they unveil them one at a time over the course of their stream.
Okay.
So there'll be one more. It's either going to be Grand Blue Versus, Skullgirls, or Blaze Blue. My gut says Grand Blue Versus. It was there last year. Um, Probably be back again. You know,
Fair enough.
but
Safe bet.
I don't know that for sure. If we stick around long enough, we'll know for sure. But
Okay. Oh.
that's all the news that I had.
All right.
Let's throw it over to Rundgren's Corner.
All right. And give it. You over here. Got a couple things to say.
Okay.
I say happy birthday to Kat Von D. It's her birthday today. I'm sure she's watching. So, happy birthday, Kat Von D. I'll say that. All right. Most news is centered in certain locations for certain reasons. So I did a little extra
Right.
digging today. Did a little extra digging. But I want you to imagine that a dog needs to be rescued, but
Okay.
there's no way to remove them to a safe location.
Okay.
All right. Well, apparently there's this organization called Pilots and Paws, and Dog is my co-pilot that will fly to rescue dogs. The environment Pilot and Paws allows for information exchanges, sharing rescue stories, and getting involved locally to help dogs and other animals who need assistance.
Okay.
It is intended. The website is intended to be a place where volunteers can work with each other to rescue, shelter, and adopt animals. It has
Nice.
also become a place where pilots and plane owners can work together to help with transportation and logistics.
Nice.
Dog is my co-pilot provides similar services. Many of these pilots transport dogs from overcrowded shelters to adoption shelters,
Nice.
sometimes all the way across the country, where a loving home is waiting for them. They help foster adoptions and these shelter pets by getting them shelters where they can be adopted. They believe that when you adopt a shelter pet, you save two lives, the one you adopt and the one that takes its place.
Makes sense.
Tens, tens of thousands of animals have been saved this way. Uh, an average rescue flight can carry 85 dogs.
Wow.
Um, uh, they're according to Caesar Milan. Some of y'all may have heard that name. Uh, the dogs end up in different
The dog
shelters.
whisperer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You should know he'd have a hand in this somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Uh, Involved in lack of training. The primary reason why dogs end up in shelters is if you ever seen a show, you know he's going to say lack of training, lifestyle changes, or
Hmm.
moving without being, he harps on these. When more rescues happen in a community than a local shelter can handle, the next best solution is to send the dogs to another area where
Hmm.
fewer animals require that kind of care. So the next town owners, they get loaded up in a truck, they get taken over there, take a ride and go. But if they're a state or two away, there are pilots that step in. Uh, Now they give a couple things. This is the last thing. I just think it's really cool because they've got some
Yeah.
stuff if you want to get through. Uh, we'll do that. I'm not going to go into some of the sad stuff there
Yeah.
where they do it, but uh, one of their pilots is a lady named Patty Wagstaff, and if you've never seen her fly, you need to go see her fly.
Yeah.
She is an expert pilot. She puts on. She's an aviation aerobatics champion.
Oh, that's a good
Yeah,
title.
yeah, isn't it? It's a great title. I want that title. No, I'm not getting that plane and doing that. Um,
No, I'm terrified of heights.
yeah. So the one that what she flies mostly is dogs that are like in an area where it's like, okay, by law you're gonna have to euthanize these animals. We've
Yeah.
got too many or whatever. So she's kind of go through that. But I'm gonna go over the four things they got here.
Sure.
If you're a pilot and want to help rescue dogs and other animals who need a home, you'll need to be aware of a few issues to have a successful experience. I think it's interesting for everybody to know. So, number one, most animals do not know to yawn or swallow when pressure changes occur during a flight.
Oh,
Do- Dogs unfamiliar with altitude changes can feel uncomfortable, leading to barking and adverse behaviors. So, apparently, you're going to have to deal with nervous dogs on a flight. That makes
of
sense.
course.
Yeah. Canines tend to be vocal before a flight, are typically quiet once you reach a cruising altitude. Some even fall asleep. For those with high anxiety levels, a soothing voice can often help the situation, and that works in lots of situations,
Right.
not only with dogs but with people as well. Three, even flights of short duration can experience accidents, and dogs can decide to use the bathroom because of their emotions.
Of course.
Having supplies available help to clean and disinfect afterwards. It's helpful. And the fourth one they put up for pilots is once the trip is complete, food and water are often necessary for dogs. They also need to be let out to relieve themselves.
Of course.
The This is, and they've got, you can contact Pilot and Paw directly at info at pilots, with an N, pilots and paws, altogether.org, or visit their website at www.pilotsandpaws.org. And Dog is my co-pilot is reachable by email at flightupdates@dogcopilot.org,
Yeah,
or they have their website dogcopilot.org.
makes sense.
But yeah, there's big planes, little planes, and apparently if you go look at the all the planes flying across the United States on the map you can pull up online, you just know that there's a few of those you're seeing are loaded down with dogs, like 85 dogs
Nice.
being removed from a place where they can more likely to get adopted. That was a cool story, man.
Yeah, that's very cool.
It's like I'm a pilot. That's cool. What do you do in your spare time? Actually, I fly
Have fun.
dogs. That'd be yeah. We need to work that out. We'll get them little parachutes like that and just drop them out off for adoptions.
Look,
So,
life is better when you have a pupper around. That's all I'm saying. If you're somebody that has a lot of problem with pet dander, like I do, then with their breathing, consider a dog that has really long hair. I know that doesn't sound right. Trust me. Dog with really long hair, like a standard poodle, where the hair doesn't like fall out most of the time, or a dog that just doesn't have a lot of hair at all, like a naked dog. Uh,
a
there's
Bichon,
options.
A Bichon Frise would be good for you.
Or if you are allergic to dogs, there's a creature for you. It's called a cat.
Yeah.
No, no, I definitely sympathize with anybody that's allergic to dogs for sure. No, cats are cool too. They're not dogs. They're and I say that knowing that my girlfriend is going to watch this at some point, and she is a cat lover, and she
Yeah.
loves to run. Anybody that gets that reference, you get a scoop of ice cream. But dogs are great. Lizards are better than cats. Lizards are
Thunder,
pretty great.
thunder, thunder, cats.
Yes. Can you imagine how weird that show would be if it had dogs instead of cats? Thunder, 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 dogs.
No, doesn't work. Like pound kittens doesn't work. That sounds like a website you don't want to go to. Never mind. Don't listen to me. But like
Mumra wouldn't be able
well,
to be a mummy anymore if they were dogs.
right. Which he's the only human.
Yeah. They'd be after his bones.
Mumra is completely misunderstood. Everybody's invaded his planet. He's the only human left, and everybody's invaded his planet.
Man, he would get destroyed immediately. They'd just tear him to shreds to get his bones.
You do remember Chitara starts out naked, right? They
Yeah,
don't
no,
get
I
clothes.
do.
They're not wearing. Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Yeah, I do.
They're not wearing clothes on the ship. Pound
Mumra
puppies.
would have to be a vacuum. Look,
Yeah.
all I'm saying is Mumra deserved better. That's it. He's got
Oh,
such a
man.
good title. The Ever Living is such a good title.
The comic crossover with Thundercats and He-Man's good too, because
Yeah.
well, it's Mumra and Skeletor.
Of course. Of
You
course.
know they're gonna hate each other. They hate
Of
everything.
course. Of course. Look, Skeletor, I'm just going to say this one time. If you're not a Skeletor fan, you've never watched the old He-Man, because Skeletor is such a troll in the old He-Man. There is a moment where Evelyn is like, I don't see how this benefits us at all. And Skeletor says, it doesn't, but it hurts He-Man, so we're going to do it. It's like, all right, yeah.
And the guy that voiced him voiced Megatron.
Yep.
And he and the guy that voices Optimus Prime. If you ever found a video with them two on stage together, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, they've worked together for so long.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, on so many things through so many cartoons.
I bet they were recording together when people were still in like a booth together to record lines. Because that only changed in the 90s,
Yeah, everybody gets their own individual booth.
Skeletor is so great. Just, I can't think of Skeletor without thinking of him walking through the mirror and then reaching back through to break it. It's the single best moment in all of television.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. Skeletor, man.
Well, it proves my point. The show, You don't have to have a great hero. It's nice if you have a really
Yeah.
cool, great hero,
Right.
but you don't. As long as you got a good villain.
Yeah.
Good villains make the story.
That's right. That's
Ah,
why people love Game of Thrones. Be honest. Like, if you're a Game of Thrones fan, if you're a Song of Ice and Fire fan, be honest. It's not the heroes you care about. You don't care about them. You're
yeah.
gonna tell me you care about Jon Snow. You don't care about Jon. You care about Cersei Lannister.
I haven't seen. I just read the books and like I'm waiting patiently.
Yeah. One day. He's too busy writing Elden Ring. It's so obvious George wrote Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Like the story for it. There's like Stormvale Castle. And there's a guy named Radon. And it's like, yeah, no, George wrote this.
Yeah.
George wrote this.
Well, that's a problem. He's a slow writer, which I got nothing against, but now, now he's got interviews. He's got leave him alone.
Yeah. People like Game of
Leave
Thrones
him
because of news.
alone.
That's also true. That's also.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you put two people down in a room and ask them, who do you like more, Jon Snow or Ramsay Bolton? Who are they going to say? They're going to say Ramsay because the villain every time. Every time.
I'm trying to think. Like I said, I've read the book. I haven't seen the story. I like Jon Snow. I don't see anybody in there as the hero at this point.
Yeah, no, that's very true.
So I don't know. Like I said,
Is there anyone good in the world of Game of Thrones? Is there anyone good in Warhammer? No.
well, everybody has their
Not
good,
really.
and
They all
everybody
think
has
they're the good guy.
right. They have their good. They have their reason. They have their bad. They're pretty deep characters.
Yeah.
All through that. Like I said, when I
think-
started reading it, I was kind of expecting like a Lord of the Rings, J.R.
Yeah.
Tolkien type thing, and it reads a lot more like Frank Herbert. Dune.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's very Dune-ish. Just don't do yourself a favor. Don't Google Ramsay Bolton because there's some pretty graphic scenes with him in the show, and that's definitely what you're going to find. Just do yourself that favor.
Yeah.
Do yourself that favor. Yeah, Arya's pretty great. That show falls apart. Ugh, I could talk about how that show just falls apart all day long.
That's sad. Like I said, I haven't watched it. And people were like, "Oh, you need to watch." I'm like, yeah.
Well, the first couple seasons are really good. Like it's really faithful to the book. They do a lot of work to set up the settings. They do some incredible stuff. The acting, Nikolaj Coster-Waldau, who does Jaime Lannister, his acting is so good that he sells that character. And the guy who plays, what's his name? The king, the prince. What's his name? The boy. Everybody hates him. I can't remember his name. The actor who played him knocked it out of the park. That man had to quit acting. Joffrey, thank you. That man had to quit acting because he would show up at coffee shops and people would hate him because he did such a good job.
Yeah.
No, Ramsay was not the Mount. No, Jon Snow, simply because I know the meme. You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Yeah.
No, nothing. And then you get the other meme. I don't want it. I don't want it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Look, all I'm saying is, if you've never seen anything about Game of Thrones, look up the Coldplay Game of Thrones video, and you'll get to hear Nikolaj Coster-Waldau sing a song about how great incest is, and it's one of the greatest things. It's a love ballad about incest, and it's one of the greatest things that's ever been written musically, because of how ridiculous it is. And that's where it really shines. You know, just look that up. Don't even have to read the books. You can just look that up, and you know everything you need to know about Game of Thrones. Really. Mom. Small girl for shame. Shame. Yeah. No, it's that show's great for memes, but there's a fight in the final season where they set siege equipment up outside the walls of a castle, and then they send their cavalry forward into the fight while they're launching the siege equipment instead of just waiting to be besieged and then sending the cavalry around to hit the flank. And everybody's like, all these characters that have been super tactical minds for the entire show are just like, this is a good plan. Yeah, this is a good plan. Yeah, we like this.
That's brutal.
Like, why is the catapult outside the walls? Oh, that show just falls apart, man.
Yeah.
Ugh. Anyway, we weren't here to talk about Game of Thrones.
No. No.
So let's talk plugs. You got any plugs today?
Yeah, go listen to my music on Rumble or Locals. Look at Run. If you're in indie games, there's gonna be some really good reviews on Thursday night. It'll be later after our D&D podcast. You hear Dark give reviews on. I think she got 4 games this week to give a review on. So I'll be watching that. So if you want to watch it, you can watch that with me.
Nice.
That's what I got.
I've got a video that's in the works right now that I'm going to go back to editing after we're done here that I'm really excited for. Hopefully everybody else is excited for it too. I think it's going to wind up being really cool. Then, of course, plug-wise, don't forget about our podcast on Thursday. We're going to talk D&D. We got boons to talk about because we finished Feats up last week.
Other rewards.
Yeah, so there'll be some fun stuff there. If you like, thank you. If you like Dungeons & Dragons, very fun to listen to for that and hang out in the chat. And if not, you just want to hang out with us some more, you can do that too. Otherwise, you can watch these on YouTube, of course. It might be where you're watching it right now, but if you're watching it now on YouTube, if you show up at Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. CT, you can be live in the chat talking with us, playing our review game, and having a good time. We have an Instagram now. That's where we're going to be posting models and stuff that I put together. That'll be Gundam models. That'll be 40K models. And, any kind of weird kit bashes that we do, stuff like that. So,
That's my fault.
It is your fault. We have the gram now. But, yeah, I'm excited. We got a lot of cool stuff coming. And then at some point, I'm about halfway through Q Ranger now. At some point, we'll get a review for that coming up. So, lots of cool stuff coming to the channel. I was hoping to drag out this plug section because they just got done showing the gameplay for Dragon Ball FighterZ, and I thought we might get that final announcement, just shoo it in there right at the end.
Is that where they're fixing to show it?
I think they're fixing to show it.
Are we fixing to get it?
I don't know how long it's going to take, though. They might talk for another 20 minutes. So.
They're gonna. This is the last one. I'm sure they are. It's like when they do the old game shows, and the answer is right back after these messages. Yeah.
Oh, thanks for that link, Faith. Yeah, that's our Instagram. Yeah. That's the gram. I refuse to not call it that now. So just a heads up on that.
Thank you, Dark. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we need to post that. Where is that at? Where is the link? I have that link somewhere. Where did I put it?
To my music.
Where
link to it. Yeah, he's put it to one of the songs, but if you put it in the search bar, Rundgren, and I'll try to get a link for you so I'm get set up. Got it. I'll do that.
Faith got it.
Right on. Thank you. I've got some more songs there. I have a song coming out. We're almost kind of seen as a right wing platform, and I am not right wing. I'm not left wing either. I just don't want any place to become an echo chamber. Someone go put some music over there with all the griping.
I can't even fly.
Dart, I appreciate that so much. Whether you like them or not, I appreciate you taking the time to do that. So I'm going to say my normal thing to all the people listening now or later, because it's true for all of you. It took thousands of years and millions of people to make you. There's never been anything like you. There never will be ever again. Thank you so much for spending this time with us.
We got our final game announced. Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. Grand Blue and Evo been 2 years straight, baby. So, look forward to that.
Right on. Well, it makes sense what you said earlier. They had the paperwork already there.
Yeah.
To go through with it, so.
All right, though. We'll be back next week. And until next time, or not next week, we'll be back later this week. But until next time, I've been Trey.
I've been Rundgren.
We've been the Full Spectrum Podcast. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum that life has to offer.